Please welcome to the stage, Mike Zakarian.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Happy Monday. Also, happy birthday to my wife. Isn't that very exciting? Happy birthday to Kelsey. Hope everybody had a good weekend, enjoying some Final Four sweats. I see Patrick Coyne in the chat. Congrats to him, taking down the Splash Sports Survivor March Madness contest. That's 470 smackaroos to old Patty C. We're going to dive into some hoops today. We got a busy day of basketball content. Listen, guys, we are 1 week away from the playoffs. This time, next week, we will be getting ready for the play-in game, followed by round one. Very excited for that. Just for some content updates for you guys, just for what you can expect this week. Let's get into it. We have Live Before Lock today at 5 p.m. Eastern. Later this week, we're also going to have our guy John from SORARE. I was thinking Friday, but I'm getting DMs right now. Might be a Thursday. We're going to be looking at the playoff contest on SORARE NBA, so we'll probably do that either Thursday or Friday. We'll have Live Before Lock on Friday, as always. NBA Bit Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. You're here. You already know that. We dropped a SORARE MLB video yesterday. Lock for that starts today at 3 o'clock. So if you haven't checked that out, just drop the link into the chat. Go get that. I don't think we're having 89 Cavs this week. Our guy, Justin, currently on a cross-country train ride. He's doing a little Amtrak across the country. So not sure if we're going to have that this week. But I think that covers most of it. We'll have some more baseball content later this week. Having fun with that. But more importantly, we got to get into the hoops. Who else do we have in the chat before we get going? Sneeps is here. We get the common man. Happy National Caramel Popcorn Day. That's fun. Forget the market meltdowns. We got D Rose in the house. Yeah, man. What time does the market open? 9:30. That'll be fun. I'm sure it'll be fine, right? It'll be fine. Give him a chance. We got looking sharp. Yeah, you're right, Snoop. We are looking good. Honestly, I was wearing a sweatshirt. But it's pretty gross out today. Took the dog out for a walk, turned the heat up before I took the dog out, came back in. Real toasty up in here now. So that's why we get a little short sleeve action. Didn't want to go full undershirt. You know what I'm saying? A little too casual for the NBA bit. Speaking of casuals, is Stan Love here? Let's dive into some basketball over the weekend. We are going to start with the Western Conference. That's what we're going to do. We're going to start with the Western Conference. We're just going to poke around this weekend, much like the plot of White Lotus, lots of holes in it. Let's look at the Lakers. Let's look at the Lakers and the Thunder yesterday for some Sunday matinee action. I'll be honest. So we went to a bar yesterday, pseudo Kelsey's birthday. Also, like to watch UConn and shout out the Huskies. Paige Becker's got her title. Didn't expect them to smoke them by 30 last night. But while that game was on, also, I want to shout out this bar, the Brew Inn. If you're ever in Brooklyn, it was just like exactly what I was looking for. Had a divey feel, some good food and drinks, enough TVs. But anyway, somebody comes in right at 3:30 and was like, "Hey, can we get NBA TV Lakers Thunder on?" Some real sicko stuff. But we did. We got that game out there. And so I had it on like on a corner TV while I was watching UConn smoke South Carolina. And it wasn't the only smoking that happened yesterday. Is Manicato here smoke some? The Lakers went out there and just beat the piss out of the Thunder, 126-99. And again, I wasn't like fully locked into this game. So I went back and looked at some of it later because I was like, oh, of course. Of course, the Thunder were resting, guys. Let's look at the Thunder starting five here. Chet Holmgren, Jalen Williams, Isaiah Hartenstein, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and the Dort Report. Wow. I think what is two things stand out to me here in this game. Now, I'm not like panic mode for OKC. This isn't something like, oh, OKC's soft, they're toast now. What I am impressed by is the Lakers not only being able to hold this offensive team in the Thunder to under 100 points, but also to drop 126 on this Thunder defense is pretty impressive. And I do think, the chat's calling it out, I do think it goes to like the Luka stuff. And I know Luka had a rough week last week, and everybody's like, oh, he doesn't have it anymore. Can we even play? Yes, you can play him. You can play him in Sorare NBA. And I think when we get into these playoff series, this is kind of what makes the Lakers so dangerous, is that it's just so matchup based, like if you don't have somebody, and I don't know who the guy is that can cover Luka, but if you don't have a Luka stopper or even a Luka slower downer, you're in trouble. Now, Luka 11 for 20 from the field, 5 for 11, 30 points, 7 boards, 6 dimes. LeBron 19 and 7. Honestly, kind of like a chill LeBron game. And then Austin Reeves dropped 20 as well. On the Thunder side of stuff, SGA got to 26 on 12 for 23 shooting, only played 30 minutes. And like that, the only other two guys to get to double figures were J-Dub had 16 and Chet had 10. I think not an indictment on OKC. I'm not like wildly concerned about what the Thunder are going to do in the playoffs. I just think this was a reminder, as the Lakers had a little bit of a wishy-washy week, that they do have the upside, at least in a short series, right? I mean, again, if you go to 7 and all of a sudden people are making adjustments, maybe the Lakers get exposed a little bit more, but this was a pretty big win for them, as we're going to see with the Western Conference just being so tight there. They moved to 48 and 30. OKC drops the game. Doesn't change anything. Let's go back to the scores. Let's find another Western Conference matchup to take a look at. Kings got their win 120-113 against the Cavaliers yesterday. I don't know why it did that. I clearly clicked box score. I don't know why it took us to where it did. That was kind of weird. Let's try that again. There we go. All right. So in this one, Donovan Mitchell left the game and then came back, but it looked like it was going to be bad, and he came back and he was fine. This is a pretty big win for Sacramento, again, who's just trying to hold on. Sabonis had 27, 9, and 7. He's strung together a couple of pretty good games here since missing a few. Zach LaVine, finally saw him pop off. He went 7 for 11 from 3. He just dropped 37. DDR had 28 and 7. And then on the Cavs side of stuff, Ty Jerome, he had 20. What is going on with the Ty Jerome had 20. He led all scores for the Cavs. Mitchell had 19. Again, similarly to OKC, this game was just so much more important for Sacramento than it was for Cleveland. Cleveland doesn't matter. So I'm not too worried about it. Back to OKC here. Regular saying Chet doesn't look right, in your opinion. This is just who he is with that body type. No, I don't. I actually thought Chet has been playing really well. I mean, again, I didn't watch that game specifically, but I thought Chet's had a pretty solid year when he's been out there. And then DJ Local said you have to make OKC play your game and not theirs, and you have a chance. Yeah, I think if you get into a turnover game, OKC is going to cook you. But anyways, good win for Sacramento. Again, they need every win they can get here. Anybody? I feel like yesterday we didn't have a ton of like super competitive West games that were important. The Nuggets dropped another one. I wanted to point out. Well, let's quickly do this one. Denver dropped this game 125-120. Jokic was insane in this game. Again, what was it? 41, 15, and 13, I think. Was that the final line for him? Hold on. He went 18 for 33 from the field. Why is this not scrolling over? Man, hold on. Maybe I got to blow it up like that. That'll be helpful. Oh my God. What is going on here? It's like ESPN's got too much going on. All right, 41 points, 15 boards, 13 dimes. We were right. So Denver's doing an interesting thing. First of all, good win for Indiana. They were without Siakam on the road. Just got a win. Basically secured that 4 seed. What I wanted to say about Denver, this is both glass half full and glass half empty for the Denver Nuggets, okay? The glass half full side of stuff. I think Denver is looking at the West and they are saying, hey, man, whether we finish second or we finish seventh, well, they don't want to finish seventh, but whether they finish second or seventh, they are going to have to go through difficult teams. There is going to be no easy W's throughout the Western Conference. Every single matchup is going to be tough, whether it's Houston, Golden State, Minnesota, the Clippers, the Thunder, whatever, right? I think they saw what happened last year when they got into that grueling series against the Timberwolves. Jamal Murray clearly didn't have his legs under him anymore. Jokic was tired. They were all exhausted, right? We saw like 2 weeks ago, they shut down Jokic for like a full 10 days, right? Missed like 4 games. Tim Bontemps got mad at ESPN. Now Jokic is back. He's doing his stuff. They did the same thing with Jamal Murray. They've shut him down. He hasn't played the last 3 or 4 games. I think they are fine wherever they land in the standings. So I do think they are purposefully trying to get their guys rested and healthy because, again, the Nuggets will go as far as Jamal Murray. I know regulators said Nuggets need a fourth or better clips in round 1 will be tough. Yeah, for sure. But what I'm saying is Denver, if Jamal Murray is what we saw a couple of years ago where he's putting up like 28-8, it won't matter. Denver's going to continue to win playoff series. Maybe they fall into OKC and that's over once they get there. But they'll get out of the first round if Jamal Murray is Jamal Murray. So I think that's what they're doing. That being said, I do think there is cause for concern. Again, Jalen Pickett playing 24 minutes last night. Christian Brown, though, by the way, 38-4 in this one. That was pretty impressive. But I think they're starting after they're starting 5, it falls off quite a bit. So again, they need Jamal Murray. Miles Turner in this game at 24. Tyrese Halliburton 9 and 14. Obi Toppin like stringing together some pretty good runs. Like Toppin's been playing like some pretty solid ball. But anyways, good win for the Pacers there. Let's go back to the Rockets, who, again, man, we all kind of were like, oh, the softest 2 seed in the world. Houston had themselves a weekend, right? They take out Golden State yesterday, 106-90. Amen Thompson was a menace defensively. He had 5 stocks. Dylan Brooks had 24 and 3. Jalen Green had 21 and 5. Sengun had 19, 14 and 4. And they kind of put the clampies on Curry, right? Curry went 1 for 10 from the field, 1 for 8 from 3, finished the game with 3 points and 8 dimes in 33 minutes. Jimmy Butler had 13. Podgod led all scoring for the starters with 19 and 6, and then 20 points from Buddy Hield when the game didn't matter. The Rockets, pretty impressive stuff here. Pretty impressive stuff. Again, my biggest concern, we've said it the last couple of weeks, is like how are they going to look in crunch time in these close games? And they kind of showed us. They've showed us the last couple of games that they're like, hey, we want to be the 2 seed. We want to play the winner of the 7-8 matchup. And that's where they're at. Like, let's go look at their most, because I think they played on, so they beat the Clippers, and then it was, the Thunder. They beat the Thunder 125-111. Was this on Friday? I just can't remember the date of this game. But anyways, they beat him on J-Dub had 33 in that one. SGA had 22 and 8. Chet had 20. And it didn't matter because Sengun, again, 31 points. You got Steven Adams started next to Sengun in this one, which is wild. Because there was no Dylan Brooks. Also, Steven Adams is putting up insane offensive rebounding numbers. I don't know if people are paying attention to that. Had 6 in that game. But anyway, Sengun with 34. Jalen Green with 34. Jalen Green going for 34 against OKC. Just like really, really impressive stuff. He only had 1 free throw in that one. Only 1 free throw coming, man. So you didn't come here where you were trying. You didn't do what you thought you were doing there. But anyways, good win for Houston. Let's go back over to some of the other games here from this weekend. Let's do Saturday. Again, I'm just trying to focus on the Western Conference right now. This was a pretty exciting game. Memphis, who, seemed like they were letting go of the rope. I got what you're saying. All right, I got what you're saying. I take it back. If we go back to Memphis, it seemed like they were letting go of the rope, right? They fired Taylor Jenkins, and then I think they immediately lost the game. This was a pretty impressive win against Detroit. Detroit had Cade Cunningham back. They were missing Jalen Duren in this game, but the Memphis Grizzlies were also missing John Morant, and they were on the road. And I kind of thought Memphis was going to let this one go. Excuse me. Desmond Bane was awesome in this game. Desmond Bane and Triple J combined for 65 points in this one. Bane goes 38 and 7, knocking down 4 of 7 threes. Triple J at 27 and 11. There's 11 rebounds for you, common man. This was, again, a pretty solid win. Scottie Pippen Jr. got the start for for our guy Ja. He had 15 and 6. On the Cade side of stuff, he looks pretty good, man. Didn't shoot the ball great, 9 for 24 from the field, but had 25, 9 and 4. So that was pretty good stuff from him. Beef Stew was 16, 8 and 4. So just some good stuff all around from them. Yeah, no Tobias as well. And there was a lot of offensive rebounds for Memphis. But yeah, I was pretty impressed that they got this win because I just didn't think Memphis was going to be able to do it. Again, it's not another similar example, all right? It's not like panic mode for Detroit or anything like that, who have fallen to the 6th seed, by the way, which we will talk about here in a second. They did fall to the 6th seed, which I actually think might sneaky be better for them to take on the Knicks in the first round instead of the Pacers. But good win for Memphis. Memphis's other game this weekend, they did have Ja. Ja hit a game winner against Miami. Shout out Stan Loves. They won 110-108. Ja hit the gun celebration and then hit a bucket for the win. Finished the game with 30 points, 5 boards. They did fine Ja, I think like $75K for doing it again. And listen, quickly on this, I know we've talked about it a couple of times. Again, both things can be true. Both things can be true, where Ja shouldn't be doing the gun celebration because, he's got gun-related stuff happening, like taking it out allegedly in front of a teenager and like threatening a Foot Locker guy and on all that stuff, right? Also, the NBA, maybe as Michael Jackson would say, look at the man in the mirror and find yourself for the domestic abusers out there like Kevin Porter Jr., who had an incredible game this weekend. You know what I'm saying? Both things can be true. Ja, pull out the bow and arrow next time, or the crossbow. You can do the crossbow. That'd be a sick selly. But also, NBA, what are we doing? What are we doing, fellas? But Memphis won that game. Again, 30 points from Ja, hit a tough game winner, which ended up being a pretty important win. Miami, a tough weekend. They also lost a dumb game against the Bucks over the weekend. Back to Saturday. Sorry, this is Sunday. We just mentioned Memphis. Timberwolves got a win, 114-109. Rudy had an awesome game in this one. I know it was against the 76ers, who are terrible. Ant-Man, another insane dunk, another poster. He had 37. Rudy, 23 and 19. Regular season, Randall gave him 15, 5 and 4. On the Philly side of stuff, who cares? I mean, Quentin Grimes was awesome. But the starting five, why was this game close? 5-point game. They started Yabusele, Edwards, Bona, Butler, and Grimes. It sounds like a lineup at a shitty festival. Yeah, throw a grenade, Steve. I'm actually pro that. I think you can do anything that's not a gun. You should be allowed to. But good win for a win for Minnesota. That's what we'll say. A win for Minnesota, who, again, the softest schedule the rest of the way. The Clippers had a good weekend. Clippers played the Mavericks, I believe, 2 times on Friday and on Saturday. On Saturday, they gave them the business, 135-104. Surprisingly, Kawhi played in this game. Kawhi played both games of a back-to-back. Get ready for the playoffs, baby. AD had 27 and 9. He only played one of the 2 games. Kai Jones had 18 and 7. Who cares? That's it for Dallas. They're not a serious team right now without Kawhi. Without Kyrie. Kawhi, 29 and 6. You had Zubac, 25 and 10. You had Harden, 29, 14 and 7. The big 3 for the Clippers. They got that win. Let's do their first game of that matchup. They won the first one, 114-91. Wait, maybe Kawhi didn't play in that one. Did he? No, he played the back-to-back. Kawhi in that game had 20. Big Z had 14 and 13. Najee Marshall had led the way with 22 in that one. Again, Clippers and Minnesota just kind of storming up the leaderboard here while Memphis is trying to hang on. And so is Golden State, and Denver's slipping. It's going to make for a very interesting rest of the week here. I would just want to make sure I didn't miss anything on Friday. I mentioned Sabonis, 24, 11, and 7 against Charlotte. Was there any other Western Conference matchups? Rockets, Thunder, we already talked about. Warriors beat the Nuggets, so they split the weekend, right? This was another insane Jokic performance. So was Steph Curry. Jokic had 33, 12, and 9 in this one. MPJ gave him 23 and 9. For the Warriors, though, Steph went 7 for 15 from 3. He had 36 and 5. Pod God. Hey, you know what? Listen, we were talking about Pajemski for a while in the offseason about being a fantasy pod god. Instead, he waited until the fantasy stuff didn't matter anymore, but he's been awesome the last couple of weeks. Pajemski's been real solid for them. It seems like they finally have an understanding of their starting 5. It's going to be fun. Let's go over to the standings here. So We're going to focus on the West right now. Here's what we've got. So OKC 12.5, whatever. The Rockets now, with just 1 week of basketball left, they have a 3.5 game lead. The Rockets are the 2 seed. This is where it gets spicy, right? Lakers have a game and a half lead on Denver. So that feels pretty good, although the Lakers schedule is not the easiest. That was a big win against OKC. I believe they play them again either tomorrow, maybe. And then Denver in the 4 seed has a half game lead over the Clippers, who are the 5 seed, with the same record as both the Warriors, Timberwolves, and Grizzlies. So 5, 6, 7, and 8 are all 46 and 32. That is a crazy swing from having an away game in the play-in to almost being a half game out of hosting a first round playoff. So the Timberwolves we mentioned. I'm going to go to Tankathon, actually. I'll share a screen over there in a second once I pull that up. And we're going to look at the remaining strength of schedule just so we can see everybody's games that they have left here. It's nuts, Regulator, which is it's going to make this week pretty fun, I think. So for the remaining games here, is that right that they only have, I want to make sure this is including all of the games. It should. So the Lakers have 4 games left. Real quick, do it 48 and that's 4 games left. Okay. So the first team that pops up is the Lakers. The Lakers have a game against OKC and Houston. Now, OKC could be just like, again, they're fine. OKC just needs to be healthy. That's their one job. They also have Dallas, which I know is considered an easier opponent. I think Dallas is still a little bit tricky on the defensive end if they have all their bigs there, especially because that is a weakness for the Lakers. And then Portland, who has finally said, we're all done now. The next team that pops up, Denver, has 3 games left. So that's why they have the half game lead over everybody else. I will say they have the same amount of losses. So they have 32 losses, which means they need to win these out. Denver's schedule here, Houston, like I will be trying. Memphis, who's fighting for their playoff life, assuming they still care. And then the Kings. Now, I'm assuming Denver's going to be full strength for these guys. There was a little bit of a concern about Jamal Murray. I know I mentioned that I think it's okay that he's missing these games. I think it's on purpose. However, maybe they I don't know. They just seems like they're a little bit nervous. They're a little bit nervous about the knee, but I think he's fine. Let's keep going here. The next one that pops up in that Western Conference is all the way down to the 14th toughest schedule, the Clippers. Clippers have 4 games left. They get 1 against the Spurs, 1 against the Kings. Then they also get Warriors and Rockets. So those games are going to be both pretty important for them. I believe one of those games for the Clippers, I believe, is a back-to-back. So the Clippers play no, they don't play again until Wednesday. No, they play. Really? Is that right? So tonight we only have 2 games. Tomorrow, okay, yeah. So they don't play again until Thursday. They play the Spurs on Thursday, and then they play Houston on Friday. They only have 3 games left. No, wait. That can't be right. So they play. Oh no, there it is. Sorry. For whatever reason, they decided to abbreviate this one. So they play the Spurs on Tuesday, and then they play Houston on Wednesday. If they're trying to win both of those games, I imagine what we see is Kawhi not play on Tuesday, and then he plays on Wednesday. Then they play again on Friday against Sacramento, which means they would close out end the season against the Warriors on Sunday. So I think that's fun. That is fun. That's a fun situation to be in for the Clippers there. After the Clippers, you have Golden State. They have 4 games left. Only one of them considered tough. They play the Clippers. Then they get the Spurs, Blazers, and Suns. Memphis, on the other hand, they have 4 games left. They get Denver, Minnesota, not great, and then Charlotte and Dallas. And then last but not least, the Timberwolves here. They have the easiest schedule with 1 against Memphis, very beatable right now. 1 against Milwaukee, who Giannis missed yesterday's game. I think that was just rest. And then Utah and Brooklyn. So I think if we go back over here to the standings, where do you guys land on this? I think my gut feeling here, my gut feeling on the standings on the West is that we see OKC, Houston, LA. I mean, I kind of think the Clippers. I think the Clippers and the Timberwolves have the best shot at being like the 4-5 seed right now. I don't know what the tiebreaker situation is, But I'd be pretty nervous. Like the Golden State schedule's not too bad either. I don't know, man. I feel like Memphis is going to be the 8 seed. And I think you could see Denver. I mean, the Lakers have the toughest schedule of them all, but only have like 4 games left. Yeah, I don't know. I'm taking the Gators over the Cougars in the chat. I'm taking Florida over Houston. But yeah, man, this is it's gonna be spicy, and I just keep going back to looking at the like first round matchups. We could see something like OKC against Minnesota, OKC against Denver, OKC against the Grizzlies would probably be the easiest run out of all of them. I'm not feeling as bullish on Dallas as like an 8 seed as I was, say, a week ago after just seeing how these games have been looking. But yeah, man, I kind of dig it. I kind of dig where we're at here in the Western Conference. And I don't know. I like it's also matchup based too. It's also matchup based. Like I kind of think the Clippers are the best team in that range right now. Minnesota looks really good, but they've also been playing teams that aren't really good. So I'm not saying that they can't beat any of those teams in front of them. I'm just saying like this run might be a little bit smoke and mirrors here. So I don't know. I kind of think the Clippers are the most dangerous team. I know I mentioned this a week or so ago, but the fact that they're not going to be doing back-to-backs, like, yes, you're relying on playoff Harden and a healthy Kawhi, but man, I don't know. I like the Clips. Let's do, Phoenix is done, dude. Phoenix is toast. We're not even going to talk about the Suns. What are they? They're still, they're like they suck, man. They suck. I also want to say, like, there is an outside shot the Kings or the Mavs get in, right? Assuming, like, if it ended like it did today and Minnesota beats Memphis in the first play-in matchup, I wouldn't be stunned if Memphis dropped 2 games in a row. I think Memphis is way more talented than all those teams, but good luck figuring out Memphis. On the east side of stuff, let's go back to the scores from the weekend. I thought that the Saturday game of Milwaukee and Miami, I watched a lot of that. Miami had this game in control and just kind of shit the bed. They got outscored by 7 in the fourth quarter and then got outscored 10-4 in I mean, look at this, dude. So they were up 8 after 1. They give away the 8 points. They get a 7-point lead in the third, give away the 7 in the fourth. Bam was awesome in this game, and then they kind of shut the faucet off towards the end. He had 31, 12, and 5. Alec Burks had 24. This was without Tyler Hero, too, which just speaks to where Milwaukee's at right now. Giannis was awesome, 36, 15, and 10. You got 24 off the bench. Yeah, Kevin Porter Jr., 24, 12, and 8. He was awesome. Let's do the Porter Jr. drop just because, even though he's a dickhead.
We're the Porters. We share the crowd of up and down performers. Throwing things in buzzer beater corners. And one of us is playing for the Warriors. We're juniors and we're the Porters.
But yeah, Milwaukee gets that win. And Milwaukee plus Detroit dropping some games this weekend puts Milwaukee ahead of them. Let's actually go to Friday. I don't think we have to talk to. Oops, I went too far back. I don't think we have to talk too much about most of these games. Like the Pacers beat the Jazz, okay. Celtics beat the Suns, but Jaylen Brown was fun. I don't think there's anything really to take away from this. There were some interesting comments about Jaylen Brown and his knee injury. And I mean, a lot of the people were spinning it positively. Like they were like, well, yeah, he's been studying Paul Pierce's game to try to get that mid-range and like a slower jump shot to get like all that stuff. That made me nervous that his knee's in worse shape than we thought. But anyway, Celtics, they got that win. I mentioned the Pistons. They split the weekend. They beat Toronto on Friday before dropping that game to Memphis. Bulls got another win behind Giddey doing triple-double shit. And I think that was it for the Friday games on the Eastern Conference. Saturday, we already mentioned Milwaukee. I did want to mention the Knicks, who got their win 121-105. Brunson did not play in this game, but he did come back yesterday. They had a back-to-back. OG Anunoby continues the heater, man. Continues the heater. Knocked down a couple threes, finished the game with 24, 4, and 4. Something that I was noticing was that OG Anunoby, like normally when he pops off for the Bing Bong Boys, it's because OG's knocking down like 5 or 6 threes. That's been like the thing that's been surprising about this run for him in the last 20 plus games or so, where he's averaging over like 24, 25 points a game. it's not really just coming from triples. He's doing a little bit of everything. Even got to the line 5 times. Mikal Bridges had 20 and 5 in this one. Big Cat game, who had 30 and 11. Josh Hart, 1 rebound shy of a trippy dubby. So they got that win against Atlanta. I mean, Atlanta's starters just got smoked. I don't even think there's anything worth saying about that. And then if we go to Sunday's game, the Knicks had the back-to-back against Phoenix, and Phoenix, will never win again. They got Jalen Brunson back for this game. He played 34 minutes, which is a great sign. He was definitely a little rusty, right? Going 3 for 9 from the field, 1 for 4 from 3, had 15 and 6. But the fact that they played him 34 plus minutes in his first game back means they weren't like test driving to see where Brunson was at. They clearly had gave him enough rest, knowing that he was going to be good to go. And that I wouldn't say that's full minutes, because Tibbs would probably play him like 38 to 40 if he could. But the fact that he came out and played 34 minutes in that first game, it's a pretty solid sign for the Knicks moving forward about being healthy. Cat, again, 19 and 13. And then OG Anunoby, man, there we go. 6 for 8 from 3. 32 and 6. Let me see. What's his OG Anunoby stats. Let's do the last 10 games. OG in the last 10 games is averaging 26 points, almost 5 rebounds, and 2.5 assists. Holy crap, man. That does change the ceiling a little bit about this for the Knicks. And again, Hart 7, 10, and 5 in this one. Good that they didn't have to play DeLon Wright. I mean, not at all, actually. They didn't play him at all. Mitchell Robinson came back. Cam Payne is back. Deuce McBride is back. So Knicks getting healthy at the right time. Phoenix sucks, man. Whatever. Bradley Beal, 16 points. Devin Booker, congrats. You got 40 points. But that, whatever. And then Milwaukee got a win without Giannis yesterday against New Orleans. They won 111-107. What's going on here with my screen? Only down 12-16 to start the day. We're back, baby. We're back. Hold on. My computer's timing out here a second. But yeah, good win for the Knicks. We're going to go look at the Eastern Conference standings here in a second once my computer stops dying. All right, there we go. Because I think the most interesting thing was just seeing the Pistons slip back to 6, which kind of sets up the Milwaukee Pacers series, which I think is kind of fun. Yeah, so here you go. You've got the Pacers, like the Knicks, the top 4 is set. Cleveland, Boston, Knicks, Pacers. That's 1 through 4. Bucks here have a 1-game lead against the Pistons. And then we basically know what we have for 7 through 10, Magic, Hawks, Bulls, Heat. Let's go back to the Tankathon website. Go see what we've got. Oh, yeah, regulator. Go see what we've got the rest for the Eastern Conference. So really, we're just looking for Milwaukee and Detroit. Detroit's got 4 games left, 1 against the Knicks, 1 against the Kings. They have 2 against the Bucks. So that could decide who's playing the 5 seed, who's playing the 6 seed, right? I do think the Knicks are – oh, I forgot I was in that. Sorry, guys. I do think the Knicks are an easier matchup. I don't know who, Matt Harrison in the chat, how you feel, if you would prefer them to be the 6 seed and play the Knicks, or be the 5 seed and play the Pacers. I guess if you are the 4-5, I don't know if if you won the first matchup, you'd rather take on the Cavs than the Celtics. I don't really know. But I think that's kind of where we're at. Mike, I don't really know what to make of the Bucks, man. It's not like I thought that Miami win was super impressive. Like, the comeback was nice. Doc Rivers did say recently that Dame has been progressing pretty well, and that he's hopeful he's going to be back, but they are planning for him not to be back. So that's, I don't know what that means. It's Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers never tells the truth. He's not a doctor, even though his name is that. So I don't really know what to make of it. I would assume he's not going to play. So, the Bucks won a couple of games, but if Detroit wants to win those games against Milwaukee, I think they can. But maybe Detroit feels more comfortable just being the 6 seed and taking the Knicks in the first round. Let's take a look at the schedule for this week. Matty Harrison says, prefer to play the Knicks, but not by much. No good options in the second round. Yeah, that is true. And Regulator said, does Doc get fired this week? I don't think so. I mean, not this week. I don't think so. I mean, unless what's his name, Giannis says something. But so tonight, we only have a couple of games tonight. I think because of the championship game between Florida and Houston. I think that's going to be the main draw. So we get Kings and Pistons at 7:00, NBA TV. Pistons getting ready to play their playoff series on NBA TV, and then 76ers at Heat. Rivers passing Phil Jackson and win shows the accumulated stats don't matter. Yeah, I mean, okay. I don't think it shows anything. I don't think it shows anything. I don't even think Doc's a bad coach, by the way. I don't think, like, I wouldn't say he's a bad coach, but I don't think he's a, you know what, Stan? Maybe I agree with you. Who knows? I think that's just a sweeping statement about one stat. You know what I mean? Grizzlies Hornets on Tuesday. That's not really that important. Bulls Cavs not important. Wizard Pacers not important. Hawks Magic, whatever. Pelicans Net, no. Celtics Knicks, if both teams are trying, could be a fun one. Timberwolves Bucks and Lakers Thunder are like the two most important games from standings perspectives, right? Minnesota needs to win every game the way out. Lakers still jockeying for position. And then Clippers and Spurs. Then on Wednesday, Celtics Magic, whatever. We've got Lakers Mavericks, which will, both teams will be trying. Warriors get the Spurs, Thunder get the Suns, Nuggets Kings, Rockets Clippers will be a huge game. That'll be a huge game, more so for the Clippers than the Rockets. Then on Thursday, Bing Bong against the Pistons could be a first-round matchup. Cavs Pacers could be fun if people are trying. Bucks and Pels again, and then Timberwolves and Grizzlies, which will be very, very important. And then we get to the weekend, which gets a little spicy, right? And I don't think we have any games on Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. I think we get everybody kind of plays on Friday, and then everybody plays on Sunday. But Bucks Pistons, which will be important. Let's keep scrolling. Cavs Knicks. Again, I don't think they'll be. It's like a fun game, but I don't think they'll be trying. Grizzlies Nuggets, which will be super important. That's a 9 p.m. game. That'll be a very fun one. And then Clippers Kings will be important. Rockets Lakers at 10:30. So a lot of late night action on Friday. Nothing on Saturday. And then the season ends. The regular season ends. So this time next week, we'll have a feeling. We'll have like a good understanding of what the play-in looks like and what the 1 through 6 look like. So the last day of games, you're going to see we have a bunch of teams starting at 1 and then 3:30. Is it? Yeah, 1 and 3:30. So the 1 o'clock games of the ones that matter, honestly, just Pistons and Bucks. Then we get to 3:30, and I mean, all hell breaks loose. Nuggets and Rockets, Mavs and Grizzlies. Timberwolves get the Jazz, so who cares? Thunder Pels, who cares? Clippers Warriors going to be massive. And then do the Blazers try to play? Spoiler, although they've been like trying to lose here down the stretch. Play-in, I believe, don't quote me on this one. I think the play-in starts on Tuesday. I think we usually have games Tuesday, Wednesday, and then both teams play on Friday with the playoffs starting Saturday. Does that sound right? I feel like it was like Tuesday, Wednesday, and then maybe it's Thursday, Friday. Yeah, so April 15th to the 18th. So that would be, Tuesday, Wednesday. So we'd have 2 playing games Tuesday, 2 playing games Wednesday. And then I think it's both on Friday. I think they both play the 18th. I remember there being a day off last year on the 17th. Or on that like off day. That might be wrong, but there you go. That is like the primer for the week. So at least, 2 on Friday. Okay, so we were right. Day off on Thursday. So we at least we've got like a feel for the week. We've got at least a couple of games almost every night outside of tonight, really, where the basketball games matter. So we should have some fun. We should have some fun stuff. I'm excited for the playoffs to actually start. Excited to be more on playback quite a bit. Once that gets going, I'm sure we'll fire up some Western Conference games while Stevenson Weisberg take on the Celtics side of things. So should be fun. Quickly, if you guys haven't joined, we got a Splash Sports contest going up for today. I honestly probably should have taken the day off or at least adjusted the settings because I didn't realize there was only 2 games tonight. So that'll be kind of fun. 420 soon. That's right. Hoper Stash is right. I'm also going to share the baseball video into the chat again. If you haven't been messing around with SORARE MLB, we've been having fun with that. Actually, let's go pop over there here for a second because did we get our rewards yet? Yeah, we got our rewards. So we had a pretty good game week. We had a fun run out there where I think I came in like 24th, and I think Taylor was in 23rd, and Weisberg was in 26th or something like that. So I think we won some cash for the first time in a while here. Wait, I just said claim rewards. What's going on? Claim the rewards, bro. Here we go. So let's claim some rewards. Splish splash, bitches. What's up, Tesla? There we go. We won a tier 1 card. We got 501 essence and $37 cold hard cash. Let's reveal the card. Tier 1. Let's see. Tap to reveal. Outfield. Let's go. A Brew Crew breakthrough? Oh, this is a W. This is a W. Jackson Churio. Let's go. Brewers have a 4-game week. Here we go. Here we go. That's a big dub for you baseball heads there. Patrick said, is there an eliminator style tournament for the playoffs? I actually just reached out to them asking if we could do something like that. So stand by, Patrick. This is a big dub, I think, for little Jackson Churio. I think Brewers have 3 games in Milwaukee, I think is where they're playing. So that'll be that's a fun one. That's a fun one for the bros. Good W there. Plus the $37. Yeah, that was good. That was good. And I also think now we have enough. Oh, yeah, we got 1420 Essence, baby. Let's go get some Essence. Oh, let's do this first. Let's claim our daily 25. All right, let's go get some Essence here. Let's craft. There we go. Cheerios and blueberries. Hell yeah. That's a good little start to the day. All right, here we go. Let's do some crafting. Pump that Essence. Pump it. Reveal the card. Although this the right? Is zero? Oh wait, no, it's I thought it was it's just because this is crapping out. I thought we got a cereal too. I was like, what? I thought the cereal bros are gonna be losing it. Speaking of my breakfast. Oh man. Maybe we got a cereal 3 here. How long do you think this takes? Do you think we get there? Come on. This is pretty good content, right? What if we do a hard refresh? See what happens. See what happens in the hard refresh. Let's see if that fixed it. Okay, nope, it didn't. Let's go see what we won. Leave it until live before Lockie says. Let's go see what we won. Oh, it's not showing me yet. Interesting. Received an offer from Johnny Luke. Let's see what this offer was. You think this was a good offer? Let's see if it's fair. Raphael, no, get the hell out of here. Reject, brother. Reject. I don't want to swap your cards. Get the hell out of here. Let's see if it showed up. Yep. Austin Barnes. There we go. Look at Austin Barnes, baby. How do you feel about burritos for breakfast? I love it. I'm pro burritos, man. I'm pro burritos. So there we go. That's a pretty fun start to the day. Let's go. You want to see if we can build up a lineup here? Let's go. Let's build up our lineup. Awful weather here in Boston, but I think we got to play our Sox because they got 4 games. I think we just do like a full-on Sox stack here. Also, Alejandro Kirk has 4 games. That's pretty fun. But I think we probably throw Trevor Story in there. We've got Duran in there. Kyle Tucker's with 3 games. We got Rob Refsnyder with 4. Corbin Carroll. Maybe just go Churio over there. Churio. Maybe we play. Let's put him in there, and then we get Devers in the flex. Devers in the flex over here. What do we think? That's solid, right? That's solid, little Devs. Yeah, Vlad got paid. Vlad got a big old deal. How do we feel about this? I actually think this is a pretty solid one. We got a little Sox stack. They're all playing 4 games. Little Churio action. I love Michael King. I mentioned that. We got Clay Holmes as our reliever because he's a starter. I think that's what we're going to do. I'm not going to enter it yet, but that's what we're going to do. All right, dogs. I think we're going to call it there if we don't have anything else. Only 2 basketball games tonight. March Madness, that's fun. I thought White Lotus wasn't very good. But you know what? I enjoyed it. I was happy to watch it. Thought the finale didn't really pay off a lot of stuff. Didn't really say too much, but I don't care. It was nice to have good TV. You know what was great, though? Righteous Gemstones. Righteous Gemstones slaps. Love that show. What else did I watch this weekend? Mostly basketball. We watched a lot of Final Four stuff. I think we watched all 4 games. Some Daredevil. Caught up on Daredevil. That was my weekend. We were supposed to have our first softball game this weekend, but the weather did not cooperate. So that wasn't fun. So we just hung in most of the weekend. All right, live before lock, 5 o'clock. We're back for that. Go check out the baseball stuff. I don't like coffee with burritos is my only complaint. Yeah, a regulator. I'll be honest, I don't have coffee with food very often. Mostly my coffee is consumed before I have any food. And then when I eat my food, I usually don't get more coffee. I have to have my coffee in like a window where if I have it later in the day, messes up my entire schedule. Like it messes me up bad. I usually don't have afternoon coffees unless I really, really need it. So I don't know. That's me though. That's my coffee consumption. Like we had, I would say like almost 3 cups of coffee this morning. I'd say like, but these are smaller cups. It's probably like 2.5. Yeah, but I can't do it with food. I don't know why. Sometimes in the summer, iced coffee I can do with food, but too ritualistic with my coffee. I'm like Dexter with coffee. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's call it there. Let's call it there now that we're referencing serial killers. Does Ember still work? Yeah, it does. The battery life's a little bit less than what it was, say, like when we first got it, but still pro Ember. Pro Ember. Is that a 311 song, Amber? Is it 311? I want to tap into my white grunge era. 5 o'clock, live before lock. We're back for it. Might be a little bit more efficient. I got to figure out what time Kelsey gets home today from her jobby job so that we can celebrate the birthday. But yeah, appreciate you guys tuning in. NBA Bit Monday through Friday, live before lock. Friday, go check out the baseball video. Join the Splash Sports contest. Any plans for 420? Nah, dude, I'm not a toker. I'm not. I'll go breathe in some air, though. Some other people's tokes while I'm taking the dog for a walk, maybe. Maybe me and Bandy go get high on a walk. Accidentally, contact highs. Man, I feel like I'm getting way more grays. I'm like seeing, I don't know if it's the lighting because it's a little bit dark out today. I am seeing aggressive whites. Aggressive whites. What is that? The Duke backcourt? All right, we're calling it there. Oh, you said any plans for 420, and then you say we're talking about Easter. Yeah, okay. You set me up. That's entrapment. I hope you guys have a great day. Appreciate you hanging out. See you tonight. We out, skis.